Hello, everybody. This is Dave Wallace coming to you from my home here in Waiwa, Hawaii, and welcome to Monday Talk Story Time. Before we get into the talk story portion, there's some announcements I'd like to make, and short announcements. The first thing is that if you're following me along Kindle Vella, I stopped writing for a bit, and we also stopped producing our books, the Anna Blaze series and others series that we're working on. And the main reason is that last month, while I was meditating, I had a strong feeling that I needed to stop whatever I was doing and focus on the lottery. So the lottery and working the three major lotteries that I work on is the Powerball, Mega Million, and the Florida Fantasy 5. And so far, especially in this last week or so, I've made some really good advances in this area, which shows that my focus has been rewarded. And I'm not scattered all over where I have all of these fires burning all over the place and taking my mana and my thoughts with it. So I'm focused on one task, and that task is to work on the lottery. So hopefully it will produce something positive. It's been producing positive results, especially in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so that's why. No more writing. In fact, I'm going to be waiting until probably the late part of May and beginning of June to get back into the writing. And so those of you who have been following, I apologize, but that's the way that I function best. All right. So today in Talk Story Time, I'd like to share my thoughts on Aumakua. And the reason why I'm sharing is that recently I've been asked by several people calling me up, say, Dave, I'm doing my family history and I want to get back closer to my ancestors and things, but our family want to know what or who our Aumakua is. And so after talking with many of my clients, I found that there are many misconceptions about what is an Aumakua, how do you create an Aumakua, and the relationship that that occurs between a person that is taking care of an Aumakua and are all family members receiving the same attention from the Aumakua. So these are really good questions that I explored with other people, and I'm thankful for the people that were shared, that took the time to share with me, especially Brother Kai Markel from Oahu for sharing his mana'o with me the other day. And based on my understanding and what I was able to put together, I'd like to share that mana'o with you. First of all, what is an Aumakua? When people ask me that question, I says, when you're talking about Aumakua, you're talking about our ancestors, okay? And a lot of times the Aumakua is a designation of that we put on our especially our ancient ancestors that lived quite a while ago, several generations ago. And there's a designation actually. So when you talk about Aumakua, small a, you're talking about a large group of people that are related to you. And these can be direct descendants or ancestors for you, where we're the descendants. And the direct ancestors I'm talking about are parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great, all the way back to the original, to the first Hawaiian. So that's a group of Aumakua. That's one group of Aumakua. Another group of Aumakua are people that are related to us, but did not contribute to my genetics. Okay. And these are uncles, aunts, great grand aunts, and these are brothers and sisters, nephews, nieces, and relatives of your direct ancestors. But they're more like branches in a genealogy tree reaching outward, and they're not part of that main trunk that create us, you know. So that's our Aumakua. So Aumakua is family, and each Aumakua is a specific person with specific skills, with specific beliefs. So it's real funny when I was learning the chant Aumakua, and I was trying to make contact with the ancestors. A lesson I learned from that is that when calling on the ancestors, you need to be specific about which ancestors you want, because if you're not specific, all of them will show, and some of them cannot help you. Some of them will only add confusion. Okay, will only add confusion to the mix and confuse you because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, so and this is another thing about ancestors. If you're going to be calling on the ancestors, you need to know who they are, what are the skills they have, and what kind of skills they have, what kind of knowledge did they have, and what kind of knowledge and abilities that they have. For me, the work that I do as a clairvoyant and as a person that reads and look for future things, the ancestors that I want to help me are the kilos, Kauna Kilo, who can see. They're seers, okay? And they're able to see into the future, look into the future, read signs and understand the omens around them. Can you read energy in the environment? That's the skills I'm trying to develop. Yeah, so when I call on my ancestors and I'm working on a project that I need this, especially in my remote viewing or remote sensing, this is the type of ancestors I call, and I ask if there's any Kauna Kilo out there that are willing to help me with this project that I'm working on. And some of the Kauna Kilo that I'm familiar with their names, I'll call them specifically. And if they've helped me in the past, they're going to help me again. And I show them thanks by giving them, by offering them whatever I'm eating, because while I'm reading, I'm always eating and munching on something. For some reason, it makes me hungry when I'm working on these things. So I'm offering food for them, drink for them, whatever I have, and to show my gratitude to them. And that's part of the malama, taking care of them. And so, so be specific. And this group of ancestors, you have to think of them like, if you went to a party with all your relatives over there, and they're surrounding you, and you ask them, anybody know how to kalopi? Yeah. And a lot of uncles and stuff that know how to kalopi said, oh, yeah, here. Why, well, you need help? Kalopi boy. So, yeah. Can you help me? Shoot, let's go. And so that's the kind of relationship you have with the Aumakua. If you take the problem to whatever situation you're facing and state the problem or the issue that you're working in, and ask, hey, can anybody help me? Anybody know how to do this? And the ancestors will answer, says, shoot, I can help you. Just like when I was trying to create a pu'awa for an awa ceremony, when I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know how to make it. And so I took it in prayer. I approached my ancestors. I said, ancestors, I need to create an Aumakua, but I don't know how it looks like. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Can you show me? And that night, in a dream, they showed me exactly what I needed to do. They showed me the coconut, how to turn it, how to cut it, how to polish it. Okay, so you instructed, and imagine if I wasn't specific and just let the people out there decide to help me. Man, my apuava would come out looking pretty weird. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. When you're calling the ancestors, know what kind of skills you're looking for in the ancestors, and if you know their names, great, call them. Okay, and that's how you can approach them. Do they need to be the capital A, the protector behind us? No, no. Your ancestors are there collectively. They love you, they respect you, and they want to see you succeed. So when you need their help and you're specific and what to ask, and that's where it comes down. I was told it's not necessarily who you know, but knowing the right question to ask. Yeah. And what do you want? Clearly state what you want. What do you need? And what kind of skills you need. And among the ancestors, they'll say, hey, I can help this boy. And they'll step up and approach you. Okay, they'll find you either in your dreams, sometimes and so far. Hey, like when I was trying to learn how to shape stone, I was praying, constantly asking for guidance. But as soon as I pick up the stone and start shaping it, it's just like I was having an outer body experience where I'm a participant observer. I know I'm shaping the stone, but several times I found myself outside of my body, looking at myself, shaping the stone, and there was another person sitting there instead of me. And this is the ancestor taking over, showing me and teaching my body the muscle memories in my hands, so that I can carry out the task. And once the muscle memories got in on how to turn the stone and manipulate the stone, and once I got the image of what I'm creating burned in my mind, then I went right back in and I completed it by myself. But to start out the project where I didn't know what I was doing, the Aumakua came in, sat down for a little bit, and said, "Bro, let me show you how to do this." And so they slipped in, and as soon as I figured it out, says, "Now your turn. You finish." And so I was able to finish that. So, and this is how Aumakua can affect you. They can slip into your body if you allow them. For this particular ancestor, I was familiar with them, that there was a stone shaper. Okay. And I was familiar with that person, and you just sit there and say, okay, let me show you first. Okay. And that was easier than trying to give me the imagery, because he couldn't communicate with me that way. So there's partial in a way, it's almost like a mediumship where a spirit comes in and guide you. Sometimes, however, the Aumakua can choose a different route, and what Hawaiians call noho, kind of like sitting on your shoulder. Like me, I picture this type of noho concept of a Aumakua. I picture like the pirate with the parrot, the pirate with the parrot on the shoulder. And the parrot is whispering in my ear, telling me what I need to do, what I need to see. And this happens this type of no-hole where the Aumakua sits or kind of like peeks over my shoulder. That happens more when I'm doing associative remote viewing, where I'm creating pictures, sketches in the future, and I allow the ancestor to look over my shoulder to watch what I'm drawing on the piece of paper and help me remember or see whatever I'm drawing in the future. I'm able to see that in the present. Okay, so that's associative remote viewing. And this skill is what I'm developing in working with the lottery, because the lottery, let me show you something. The lottery is, work like this. Okay. The pictures on this side, these are the pictures I drew on the 25th. You notice that the date of the lottery was the 26th. Okay. And these pictures that I drew over here were from the night before, 25th. And if you take a look at the number of correct that I got, take a look at the gun, the first one that I had. I drew a gun over here representing the number 6. And gun was the correct one for this particular lottery, the midday lottery down here. Okay, down here. So 6 was the correct one. Okay, it was the correct number. The next number that was exactly was Geico Lizard. 15 minutes will give you 15% more. Okay, so this is what I drew the night before. And if you take a look on the opposite side, that was correct. That was the third correct answer. Then when you come down all the way down to the bottom for the Powerball, for not the Powerball, the last number in the Fantasy 5, I got this symbol. And here, right here, it's a correct symbol. So there are 3 direct hits that I got for this particular lottery, and I was able to place these numbers on 3 tickets in pink, and I was able to win $21 right there. So 6, 15, and 34 were on 2 tickets. Now there were 2 draws on this lottery, and one in the morning and one in the evening. And take a look at what happened on the last ticket. For the evening draw, there's 15, 5, 14, 24, 27, 32. Well, this is the number that I picked for the last one. And I call this my one-offs or my missing numbers set. And I got 15, 14, and 27 on the same ticket. And this ticket was good for $24. So when I'm drawing these pictures here, I'm asking my Aumakua, "Ba, show me what I am going to draw here." And so the first picture they showed me was a gun. So I drew the gun on this side, okay? On this side of the piece, okay? And these were misses, but hey, 3 out of 5, not bad. Okay, so that's how training and working with the Aumakua and understanding the functioning of the Aumakua and how they can help. This particular Aumakua that's helping me with the communication, bridging the gap between my present self and my future self and my past self. So it's helping bridge that gap to make it possible for me to see into the future when I need to. Okay. So that's the kind of relationship I'm developing with this particular you know, entity. And the more I work with this person, I'm realizing that this person was an astrologer, highly educated, very intelligent, uh, but he's not from Hawaii. He's from Afghanistan. Okay. So, and there is a name that he gave me. And so we're communicating more, and I'm getting to know how they work, how he works, and what he prefers. So that's an Aumakua. Is he one of the big capital A Aumakua? No. Does he appear to me as a bird, eel, or fish? No. Um, he appears to me as a real person in my dreams. Okay. So, and this is another misconception that I want people to really think about. Now, one of my family members, again, ancient times, was a kupua, and he helped save the family from Tahiti. But his shape, his form, was an eel. Okay, so when he came to Hawaii, after he passed away, there is a ceremony that family members can do to create an Aumakua, to ask the spirit to be the capital A Aumakua protector for the family. It's a very formal and ritualized process that needs cooperation. And if you're going to be making this type of relationship between an ancestor who is going to be bound to the family to protect the family, then there needs to be an understanding between the family and the Aumakua. You need to malama, you need to take care of them. There need to be rules to follow. Okay. So, and if you, over time, family members forget about the rules, no longer takes care of their responsibilities, what happens to that bond? Well, the contract is broken, yeah, and the Aumakua is no longer obligated. Okay, the Aumakua is no longer obligated to be to you. Can they still help you? Of course they can. Okay, because they love you. They're still part of the family. Now, like I said, the form that this particular kupua existed was the eel, and it took shape of the eel. Just because this Aumakua appears to us as an eel does not make all eels in the ocean our Aumakua. There's only one. Okay, there's only one. And this particular puhi is very unusual. Okay, and I was fortunate to have come across this particular puhi on the island of Molokai on Kepuhi Beach. Okay, of all places, Kepuhi Beach. Okay, and that's by Kilokoi Hotel on the west end of Molokai. So Kepuhi Beach is where I first saw this eel, and it's not like any other eel I've ever seen. This eel was huge. In fact, the circumference was so huge, it was almost like one of those pipes that people use for drainage in the roads, that runs under the roads. These are huge, huge, huge pipes. So, and, I estimate that the length of this eel could have been about 20 feet. So, and this eel was brown, pinkish. The colors were kind of like splotchy. And as it came to the surface, there were barnacles on top. And so this eel must have been in the water for a long time, maybe hundreds of years. Now, Which leaves the question, is this eel really the Aumakua showing itself to me? Or was it an animal that was out there already that was influenced by my Aumakua to come and help me? Yeah. And could be. I'm not for sure. But whatever, however this eel appeared to me, I accept it as a visitation from the Aumakua, because this particular eel was behaving in such a unusual manner. It led me across the beach from Kaluakua. We continued walking up to Kavakiu um, towards Iliu Point. And Iliu Point, Kavakiu and Iliu Point. So we started walking towards that area, and I was looking for a specific stone that I could shape into a point pounder. And by following the eel along the beach, he took me to a place where I picked up a stone that was easy to shape and finish a point pounder. So, like I said, it could either be my Aumakua, or it could have been an animal that's already out there that my Aumakua or family spirits decided to influence and say, hey, go show our boy where he can find the stone. So either way, I accept this as an appearance of an Aumakua in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. Okay, so again, not all eels are Aumakua. So for Hawaiians out there who's saying their Aumakua is the tiger shark, what is the name? Because it's only one. For our specific Aumakua, capital A, there is a name. We have a family name for that one. And in fact, when this particular puhi showed itself to me, I addressed it by the name given to me. There are two names, so I call them both. So, and they responded, So that's what I wanted to share about Aumakua. And the main point that I bring to people nowadays who's trying to reconnect with their Aumakua is that if they're trying to reconnect with the animal, they're doing it for the wrong reason. Okay. The connection that you need to make to your Aumakua are people. So instead of going down to the ocean, looking in the skies or looking in nature, look at the genealogy. See a genealogist. I'm fortunate right now. I have a cousin on the North Shore. You have question about genealogy? Who? That's the guy to go talk to. Okay, so you rattle off all of these names and show me the connection. So, for those of you who are not fortunate, who don't have genealogists in your family, there's other organizations that spend a lot of money and resources on genealogy, and go look at them. Churches are very, very important sources, because they'll have birth date, christening date, baptism dates, all kinds of stuff recorded in church history. Okay. The Mormons have been collecting genealogy records for years. So if you're interested in tracing your Aumakua or your genealogy, your family, those are some sources you can check out. Okay. So get to know the people. Okay. And get to know who these individuals are, because it's that relationship that you develop with your ancestor You may not know them, but over time they'll reveal more and more. And the more you interact with them and the more you trust them, it's trust is a two-way street. The more you trust them, the more they'll trust you, and they'll share information back and forth with you. So I hope this clarifies and you know helps you in your quest to connect with your ancestors. Um, they're real people, they're not animals. Okay. And that's just a form that they can appear, or that's just a form that they can influence to help you, point you in the right direction. Because you know, that's basically the Aumakua. They're not there to do stuff for you, but to point you in in the right direction, to give you hints and clues so that you can make the best decisions possible. Okay. Anyway, I hope this discussion on Aumakua was helpful to you, and good luck in your quest to connect with your family. Okay. And until next week, this is Dave Wallace from Waihoa, Hawaii, saying mahalo for watching. And if you enjoyed what we talked about, please share it with other people and subscribe. Okay. Take care. And until next time, this is Dave Wallace from Waihoa, Hawaii, saying mahalo and aloha.